point of no return. Seen the lies, I've seen them burn. Here to overcome it all. Here to rise, I cannot fall. At the edge of you and me, free from mental slavery. Stand alone, one in you. Power coming through, I hear you call. The one inside the hearts of all. I hear you call. The one inside the hearts of all. Everyone is in his reach. Everything is here to teach you. Listen for the one in you, one in all. Ever true, I find out what my life is worth. All I love is here on earth. Stand alone, one in you. Power coming through, I hear you call. The one inside the hearts of all. I hear you call. The one inside the hearts of all. And I'll take my chances. The path is less certain known, but he's walking with me. He goes before. Now I hear you call. One inside the hearts of all. I hear you call. The one inside the hearts of all. I hear you call. The one inside the hearts of all. I hear you call. The one inside the hearts of all. I hear you call. The one inside the hearts of all. I hear you call. The one inside the hearts of all.
Okay, you guys.
Hello out there.
Hello, hello, hello. Kim and Atoya and
All you
Lisa
guys
and
on the
Tammy
list.
and
Dion.
Tangi and Jill and Keisha and brother and sister and Oliver and Yolanda.
Oliver J. Miller.
Michelle. Hi, Shell. Michelle Marbell. Oh, and Mike and Phyllis, so good to have you guys with us this afternoon.
Yes, yes, yes.
We're here and we're live in color, another heart to heart. with
Great
the
to join you
Sawyers.
too, all of you.
And I just wanted to play a little song for you before we started. I hope that was good.
Okay.
Okay, where do we want to start tonight? You know?
You go if you want
Uh,
to.
no? Okay. Let's see, where do I want to start? I have been thinking about, well, let me do this first. Because I had someone to say that they wanted to hear this again and may want to hear it when we do our Zoom on Friday. But anyway, this is a different Zoom, not the one we normally have with you guys. Can you repeat this after me? I am spirit and the body is outside of me. Every thought is a choice between grievance or a miracle. I relinquish regrets. I relinquish grievances. I relinquish resentments and accept the miracle. The answer to my problem is the miracle concealed by the grievance. I want to do just one little bit more of that. I relinquish the regrets. I relinquish grievances and resentments and accept the miracle. The answer to my problem is the miracle concealed or hidden by the grievance or by the regret or by the resentment. When I read that just now, I had to literally relinquish the resentment and grievance that I had just from doing my online banking today. Because we're transitioning from one bank to another because of a merger. And it's been literally hair raising all day long trying to get that straightened out. So I had to relinquish the resentment toward that. And when I did it, I felt so much better. The miracle of peace, the miracle of contentment was hidden, but when I relinquished all of that, it unveiled itself.
Okay.
And it felt good. It felt really good.
We'd like for you guys to give us a feedback as to whether you can hear us clear or not.
They've already said they could.
They did. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody want to know who was doing the
Who
singing.
was that singing? It was, I can't tell you. I don't really know, but I can find out for you, and I will email it to you, Michelle.
Okay, that's CJ. He's on there with us.
Hi, CJ.
Okay. Well, now let's touch into some more of these miracles of identities or identity. Galatians 2:20. I am crucified with Christ. Nevertheless, I live. Yet not I. It's not I, but Christ liveth in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, or some people call it the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. He says in the 21st, he said, I do not frustrate the grace of God, for if righteousness come by law, then Christ is dead, or dying, or dead in vain.
Yeah.
Now,
Can we talk about for a minute what that in me means? Because it means, I think it means different things to different people. In me, when I remember years ago, we've always taught that about the union with our union with Christ. We've always, that's been the kind of the focus, the message, the main message of what we've ever taught is usually centered around that Jesus is in us, that in me experience. And so for years, I lived with that in me experience, but there was still a sense of separation, even though I embraced that.
Mm-hmm.
There was this sense of separation because my relationship with God was still relatively vertical.
Mm-hmm.
It hadn't become horizontal yet. It was still vertical. I would still pray, and when I would pray to God somewhere else outside of myself, usually up. When I took a hold of the in me experience, then I began to realize that God was right here in me as the Holy Spirit, as Jesus. And then there was a perplexity about how should I pray? Do I pray to Jesus? Do I pray to the Holy Spirit? Who do I pray to? So I had all of those conflicting things going on inside of me with that in me experience. But I had to come to the place where I realized that in me experience was now a horizontal relationship. I was not so much to look for God up above me, out there,
Mm-hmm.
out somewhere, but God was now moving and navigating through and by me, in me. So there was another switch that took place after that in me. There was an as me. Pretty much my focus when in the in me experience was I needed to surrender. I had to surrender to God so that God could use me. I was a vessel that God could use. And that was pretty much my concept of my relationship with God. I was a vessel to be used. God loved me as his child, but I was still a portal, just a portal that God could use. So my in me experience may have been different from what other people's in me experience was.
What got me over into awareness of the freedom, it took a long time because I was thinking that being in the church circle, that was all it was to it, and all I needed to do was read and study the Bible and felt good that if I remembered what I read and could quote it to other people, and whatever occasion came up, I used the word on it. But I didn't know that there is a part of us that has nothing or anything to do with recitals, repeating, or quotations. So the essence, again, is that there is some part of all of us that is constantly in touch with God,
Yes,
or God's in touch with us.
yes,
And the mind and this world is designed to cover that up.
oh yeah, oh yeah, yes,
I'm trying to get back to what you were saying. The miracle is the hidden essence of the fragrance of God in every. See, this thing is. This is what's so radical. I'm thinking I got God and they don't.
yeah,
God in me and he ain't in others.
yeah, yeah,
Because I stand before. There are people all over the world right now that God is in as them,
yes,
and nobody told them, nobody showed it to them. I mean, this thing is so no boundaries.
right,
It is so unlimited. It is so universal, and I just freedom comes with a price, and the price of freedom is working with people or working around people who want you to be able to give them proof of your experience with God.
yeah.
And I'm coming to a place where I'm finding out that I'm not obligated, nor are you, to give anybody any evidence of Christ being in you as you, except for you coming to a place to release the love of God. Now,
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I had to go back and I had to really deal with what was the definition of this love. What was the definition of love? And then I find out that what I thought was showing love wasn't love. It had to be selfishness.
Well, the love that we've known, I'll say known, or the love that we are familiar with, always had conditions to it.
Yeah,
There were strings attached. So we've never known unconditional love. That's something that's foreign to all of us. But that is possible, and I guess this is what I want to say, is that it is possible for God to be in a person, as a person, and that person not know it, and that person not detect it. But others may detect it when they see the nature of that God in them coming through. When that person doesn't know it's coming through. Because you can't fake it. You can't fake love. You can't fake peace. You can't fake those attributes of God. You can't fake those. They have to be real. But when they come through, really come through, and it's not something that you're trying to be, that other person that's interacting with you, they notice it. They may not call it God, but they notice it.
So as you get on into this thing, you're gonna find out that God does not have a denominational and evangelical or holiness. He does not have that kind of fence around him.
He doesn't have an allegiance.
Right.
Yes. To any one thing.
I'm aware of a lot of cases of near-death experiences where they find out that God's presence does not discriminate,
Yes.
and that He loves us all the same, as though individually there's nobody else here but Him and us.
But now my ego can't stand the fact that God loves that person that's misused me and done something wrong to me. He loves that person as much as He loves me.
Yes, He does.
My ego can't stand that. But it is still true.
The magnificence of God is so out of the human understanding that only the essence of God can reveal it to the mind. I wrote in my note here, we are the light to the soul.
Yeah.
When we leave these bodies, we take light, our light self,
Yes.
their essence. We are the essence inside these bodies, and have always been the essence inside these bodies. Forever, ever, forever, essence we are. The essence of God moves in dryness, in aging of the body. It cannot be lost, it cannot be found, but it can become aware of.
Yes.
Now, the more we talk about this stuff, we call it stuff on the air.
I like what Trish said, and I think she's quoting the Course. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing
That's right.
unreal
That's
exists. Herein lies the peace of God, and that is so true.
We are that peace, but you got to go beyond the surface. Powerful statements we make from our essence that cannot be reneged on.
Yes. Yes.
The essence that we are cannot be. I told somebody this when I was on the other side, aware of it being over there.
And you do that so much.
Yeah, there was a bottle that was shown me that it would call it the bottle of tears. I saw the book of tears, but the first time I saw this bottle, I kept bottles around here I bought bottles that looked just like the one that I saw on the other side.
Yeah, you sure did.
And when we pour water in a bottle or a glass, it goes down and hit the bottom of it. and fills itself back up. But this water, the tears that I saw, didn't start at the bottom. This bottle started filling up from the top down to the bottom. Now that's different.
Yeah.
And me telling you this over the air, it's nothing until it is seen and experienced. The up is down and the down is up.
Yes.
You are and have always been the love of God. If there was ever a beginning, if there's ever an end, the love that you are is the love of God that does not diminish.
That's right.
You are an eternal being, whether you are an eternal being whether you accept Jesus Christ or not. And I pray that you will. I affirm that you have. I affirm that you will. But now, if we run across somebody that find out that we know Jesus in a personal way, and they tell us, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in God. That used to would raffle and rough me up, and I felt like I was obligated to try to convince him.
Not anymore.
Not
No,
anymore.
No.
Those days are over with.
Right.
No. I just continue to watch and listen and treat him.
Because even when someone is unaware of what we're talking about now, there is still that their consciousness is still a universal consciousness. It's just become solidified and taking on the belief that it is just a body and a mind. And so it's just it's restricted consciousness.
Miss Gwen, you're right. Lady Gwen, this pureness. It took a long time for me as an individual to accept the fact that some days the mind is very busy convincing itself that it needs to improve on itself before God can talk to me, deal with me. But you know what? Let me tell you
Before God
something.
can even interact with me at all, I have to make sure I measure up.
Yeah. Now this something. There's a wheel got a square place on it somewhere. I used to watch trains, go to the train yard and watch trains come through with the long haul, 50 to 100 cars, and one car would have a flat place on the wheel where it had to put on brakes, and when it locked the wheels on that car, it rubbed on the rails so much that it made a flat place on it. But listen to this now. But when it came time to hook those cars together, it hooked up just like the rest of them. And even though it said bump, 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 they ran that thing as long as they could. But they still recognized it as part of the train.
Yeah, and that goes back to that scripture, and I think it's in Timothy, where it says, if we don't believe, he doesn't deny himself. He remains faithful.
Yeah.
So, and that's talking about Jesus. He never, just because I don't believe, doesn't mean that all faith is done away.
Now here's the key. After struggling with studying all the faith principles and the faith books for years,
Trying.
laying in the bed, eating and studying faith.
Yeah, listening to tapes all night long.
Faith
and-
takes, stayed in the bed and
Whoa.
get faith, and faith popped up on me like fat.
And we did learn how to speak things
Yeah,
into
we learned
existence.
it. We learned.
But we also learned after a time that when we speak things into existence, it may be coming from the wrong egoic I speaking that thing into existence. There
That's
were
right.
people claiming other people's husbands as their own. And that definitely was not coming from the right place.
I am so glad to find out. Now watch this. We've said this. I am so glad to find out that every scar that was inflicted on our souls before we got to this awareness of the Christ dwelling in us as us, I found out how to push, like giving birth to a baby, mamas. I found out how to push through as I'm doing now. When I say push through, you don't want to do it. You don't feel like you need to do it.
Yes.
You don't have the energy to do it. But all of a sudden, you know that this life. See, you got to come to a place where you realize not anything can remove this essence.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot be altered. It cannot be destroyed.
In spite of what I'm feeling.
In spite of what
or
the thinking. There you go.
Yes,
That's right.
yes.
Oh, you guys listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
And some days up, some days down. And sometimes I have this feeling goes through.
I heard that old song, almost level to the ground.
Almost up and down. Yeah. Gloom,
Almost level to the
despair,
ground.
misery, deep, dark depression. I mean, I'm telling you, where the rubber meets the road,
Mm-hmm.
you got to go for it, because there are moments that you are not going to feel adequate,
Right.
but you must go to your adequate self. You must know beyond knowledge. What if they was to confiscate all the Bibles?
And when I'm faced with that you just mentioned, I have to drop back way beneath the feelings that I'm having, way beneath the thoughts that I'm having. I have to drop into a very, very deep place in myself to find that self that's peaceful and content. I have to drop way back.
I let go of the law that said, when I was in the factory, when I was sitting in the break room, they come in and say, "Reb, what the Bible say about this?" I'll be trying my best to come up with something, and then I carry the Bible in my pocket, and I would take it home and I'd study it and try to find an answer.
Yeah.
And I felt like a penny with a hole in it if I couldn't answer those people intelligently from my left brain. After a while, I entered into a rest, and I began to say to them, "I don't know. What
Yes.
what do you know about it?"
And it feels good to not know.
That's right.
It really does.
I can. You heard me say before. I can tell my dog that it's a fish, it's a turkey, it's a duck, that it's ugly, that it's mean, and it smells like a dog, and all that kind of stuff. She's responding to that, me talking about it now.
Yeah.
Listen, I want you to know that talking to God and God talking to you is as simple as you.
Yes.
Let's stop there.
Yes.
It is easy as you. You are the light in your essence of all that God is. When I read Galatians,
So, and I don't mean to cut you
go
off.
ahead.
So the answers that we think we need, or that we do need, they're inside of us, and it's important for he and I to not get you to the place, but to make sure you understand that we don't have your answer. No one has your answer but you. It's the same. The answer is in the same place where some of you may have heard of Neil Donald Walsh. He wrote The Conversations with God and other books by allowing that answer that's inside of him to come forth. That's where his answers came from. That's where your answers come from. But you have to find a way to access it inside yourself. So going deep enough inside yourself, and I want to be able to tell you how to do that, but I'm not sure I can tell you how to do that. But you must go deep enough within yourself to find the answer that is there, custom tailored just for you, that nobody can answer for you. We can tell you based on our experience, give you an answer based on our experience, which may not fit your situation completely at all.
When I found out that God is the eternal belief
Yes.
in us, and that He is not a wavering faith,
Yes.
but He is
yes.
the author and the finisher of all faith.
Is it possible that the faith that we think we have is actually God
It is
believing in
God.
Himself?
Yeah, that's it.
Believing in Himself?
That's
And
right.
that's nothing coming from a personal me at all.
That's
That
right.
is anything that I can do that way to move toward my good is God doing it.
I often say this: if Galatians 2:20 is an indication that I am a co-participator by the grace of God of death, burial, and resurrection, without it's people now say, I wasn't back there 2,000 years ago. I don't know nothing about that. I'm living right now. If you could understand, this thing will strike you one day. You'll look at your hands and actually see
Yes,
the image
yes.
of the the nails that were
Yes,
driven in your
yes,
hand.
Yes.
The devil, energy himself, knows that it
Yes.
was pinned to the cross.
Yes.
I don't care if it was a cross made of oak wood, pine, cedar, ash,
dogwood
a
tree.
dogwood tree. Wouldn't care if it was made out of aluminum foil.
I like what Michelle says. She said, "Is it sort of an anointed download?" Yes. We have all been
She said,
downloaded.
down, boy, you got it down. Hey,
Downloaded. Yes.
go on, girl.
We have all been downloaded.
He has always been the one in the mirror. Drive your car, Jesus. Drive your car, whoever you are, in the eternal self of everybody in the universe. Keep on driving and don't hit, God ain't run off in a ditch. And you forget that. If he do, I tell you what, if your car run a ditch,
I like look.
God ain't gonna get out of it.
Look, Michelle
and
said.
say-
Michelle said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't do that. The D must have gotten stuck." Well, look, your mistake turned into a great thing. That was
oh
downloaded.
yeah.
Yes. And I want to respond to this one too. Pastor said, and this is Trish Russo Paul. She said, "Pastor, do you think it takes practice to continually go within to access the divine within us for everything?" Now I'm going to speak, and I know Pastor probably
ahead.
got some things he wants to
Okay.
say.
Mhm.
For me, Trish, what has happened is in the past, I would, in my own mind, mental abilities, try to figure out what to do whenever I had a situation going on, and that has been my habitual behavior, and it happens automatically without me even thinking. It's like it just automatically kicks in, like I got to figure this out. But when the realization hits me that I can't figure it out, when the realization hits me that there is nothing I can do to find this answer outside myself, it's when all of the effort drops. And you demonstrated it so well. You always do this. You take a handkerchief and he wrings it like this. This is what it feels like.
Uptight.
And then when you reach that point where you realize I can't do anything else with this it just kind of unravels.
Yeah.
And there's a letting go of
It's
all
an
of
effortless
the effort and
struggle.
and then is when you're positioned for the answer to just emerge.
2,000 years ago is right now. So what happened was that I heard a lady say one time in her class, she had a healing ministry. She said she saw a vision of herself walking on the sand shores of the ocean, and she had studied and meditated on being co-identified with Christ in crucifixion and resurrection. And come to find out that she wanted to get rid of her drug addictions and all of her other stuff that she felt that would be make her feel like more a Christian like and all that stuff. So she decided in the vision of the dream to dig a ditch, dig a hole in the beach, and jump in it.
I remember that.
But if she got in it, she couldn't figure out how she would get the dirt over. But then it dawned on her that what had happened 2020 years ago at the cross was finished.
Yes.
Somebody did it for her. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about the power of God. The power of God is not in so much of an energy.
Yeah,
The
right.
power of God is your essence and waking up is some part of us that has been resisting this.
Yes.
Finally let go.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody said, well, how do I get there? You're there.
And you'll ask that question, how do I get there, until you're that thing that keeps asking the question comes to the point where it realizes it can't not get there. That's when it falls away, when you realize that it cannot get there. It cannot do it. It cannot live this spiritual life, and it falls away at that point.
Lady Gwen, the effort to try to get there is a camouflage. It is a ghost that's got a bad toothache. And it tries to use struggle, trying in order to block the attention from recognizing it's over. It's been done.
Yes, yes.
If it finds out, and it's done already found out because you're talking about it.
Exactly. There's so many great comments. So you guys are going to see us looking sideways because I'm reading your comments. And Jill also said this, does this float sometimes happen when the effort is relinquished? Yes. And what I've come to realize, Jill, is this, that sometimes the one that's trying to relinquish has to be able to let go. Because it realized I can't even relinquish that. I'm too uptight, but it comes to an end at some point. So you just keep trying, keep doing what you're doing until that realization hits you. When it hits you, it automatically falls away.
Then wasn't there something in the book that said, "I believe, but yet help my unbelief"?
Yes, that was the man who had the epileptic son.
Yeah.
Yes. He said, Lord, I believe, help thou mine unbelief. So he had those two things going on in him at once.
Yeah. So the clarity, this is where you start now. You're starting right. You hear us talking about this all the time. We talked about it for over 50 years. And our training is what we're doing now.
Yeah. A lot of times we get our answers while talking to you guys.
Do you know we would not be on here if we were not convinced of what we were talking about?
Yeah.
The mind is that part that tries to renew itself through much effort and study. You are the no effort self.
But actually, the renewing of the mind is the rewinding of the mind.
Yeah.
It's the rewinding.
Ooh.
Rewinding.
It keeps repeating things over and over.
Rewinding the mind back to its original state of being not a blank slate, but a pure slate where God can write on it.
Yeah. The power of God is that the terminology power is removed. Something wants more and more. That's not you. You must discover. Discover some way what we have found out.
Yeah. The drive, the push, the urge, all of that is not necessary. It's not even you.
God says you don't have to borrow it anymore. It's you. It is all of you and have always been you down through the solar plex.
Yes.
It is the unwinding, no struggling identity.
Yes.
In Christ, you are completely filled. I ain't trying to get more in. I ain't trying to get more out. But I do know this. Something like a little bird can tell when you are aware of this.
How about this? You said in Christ we are completely filled. How about what if we are that fills, not that is being filled?
Okay.
How about let's take the leap. I am that fills. I am that brings joy. I am that fills, brings fullness to others. So, or to myself even. Because I am not the body mind. I can be that if I choose to.
Hold your hands up, both of them, let them face the screen. There's no rings on those hands.
No rings.
Oh, she done divorced me. She don't have my seal on her. Honey, you got to get beyond the physical
Well, hold
senses.
yours up. You don't have yours on there either.
No, I got the little short fan.
In fact, I gave my wedding rings away, so.
See, God got a ring around your heart. It's the presence
Yes.
of essence,
Yes, it is.
deeper than hurt and pain. See,
Yeah, so-
all the pain that you suffered on the cross is to be used now as a stepping stone of everything that you're dealing with now. Allow those scars to be channels of love. Grab
Yeah.
grab pain and hurt
Yes.
and embrace it and said, I love you with the love of God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what we're daring to say is that God is interfaced with you as a person. God is interfaced. His thoughts are intermingled inside of even your conditioned thoughts and filtering through your conditioned thoughts, using your conditioned thoughts, using your conditioned feelings, using all of that to manifest itself as pure love. And so we don't have to really struggle to try to do all of this stuff. And we've been working too hard.
Yeah,
haven't we?
working. Something
We've been
working.
working too hard.
You are the supreme ultimate reality of all that God is in your essence.
Yes. So this is just, that's good. Say that again.
You are the supreme ultimate reality
Yes.
of all that God is in essence.
Wow. So we're exchanging person for presence, aren't we? We're exchanging the person, Antoinette, for the presence of the essence of God. That's all we're doing.
Yeah, you get up one morning and bam, it'll hit you while you're brushing your teeth. And or you'll get ready to go out the door and you reach for the doorknob and you'll see that door by revelation is the door Jesus is. All of a sudden, honey, we may have to lock you up about 6 months.
But this doesn't have a tendency though to make you all excited. It has a tendency to sober you.
Yeah.
Really, it does. It has a tendency to sober you. And you sober up and you can see clearly what needs to be done, what should be done, what should not be done. It just automatically is apparent to you.
If I had it the physical way, I wouldn't be on this telecast today.
Neither would I.
But I do know that there's something about talking to you guys. It's like talking to my ultimate
Talk to
self.
myself. Yes.
I must tell my ultimate self that you are, that this ultimate
Yes.
self recognizes ultimate plasticity.
Oh my goodness, what is that?
Ultimate plasticity. I don't know what that word means. We are
Find another word because I don't know what that one is.
I don't either, but I felt that word. This that we are
Plasticity.
Consistency. We are the glue, the consistency. Ultimate consistency. That's it. That is.
Okay. That
Ultimate
sounds good.
consistency
That sounds good.
of all things, from the desert to canyons and beyond all human understanding. Don't ask God to explain this to you. Just show it. Let it be seen
And
that
accept
you are
it,
the
yes.
ultimate simplicity of God.
Yes. And so what we're talking about is the track from being a self to being presence, the presence of God, walking, localized, individualized.
I am ready to allow that has been hidden in me before the foundation of the world to come to the forefront of consciousness. Somebody has got an earache out there, and it's been there for a while. I see God's healing oil going into your eardrum and removing that ringing in your ear and that trouble you've been having. The ultimate power of essence is now reached up from inside of your eternal self and garrisoned and took that ringing away. You are now open. Your ears, I command them to come open and clear right now.
Yes.
Ultimate simplicity of God. We are the manufacturer of the presence. We got enough and is enough of the presence of God that everywhere we go, it emanates from us. Be happy you are the happiness of God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You must find out that you cannot be reversed. Only if you are reversed, it is only by an illusion. What
So-
we're talking about overrides all illusions
Yeah.
of doubt.
Yes, it does.
You must come to the place where if I was a broke neck chicken in a meat house, I'm still God's ultimate simplicity
Yes.
of presence.
Yes. So we are simply your higher self
Yes,
speaking
talking.
speaking to you.
Yep.
As we're speaking to our
Yep.
own little me's here, our higher self speaking to our own little me, and we're speaking the same to all of the little me's out there that you are more than you ever dare to believe.
We are the forevers speaking to the family of forevers.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank
yes.
you, God, for
Yes.
the healing ear. Thank you, God, for the healing back. The healed past tense back. Now,
And remember what I said for you guys to repeat earlier. The miracle is hidden or concealed behind the resentment that I have about the situation. That's where the miracle is hidden, behind the resentment. So once that's relinquished, the miracle automatically appears.
when you go, he goes. When you stay, he stays. Now, there will come a place in your resurrection consciousness, resurrection awareness.
Yes, sir.
You'll be sitting in a chair and you'll see yourself coming to yourself. That's what happened to Adam in the garden. It's a divorce of the Lord was
Walked in the
in the
cool of
cool
the
of
evening,
evening. That
yes.
was my Lord coming to my Lord. Watch this now. You must come to the place to see that there is no darkness in your eternal essence. Your essence is the absolute presence of God.
I'm making baby girl lay down.
Now, I want you guys to come back to us now. You're doing good out there.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes.
sir. That's good. That's good.
Not I, but Christ liveth. Phyllis Stapley, I hear you out there, girl.
And Oliver says, I am the happiness of God.
Yes,
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir.
yes. And you will always be that. Now, once you step into this and taste it, you acquire. Now, you say practice. Okay, your practice is now. As we speak
So
to
what
you.
we're talking about then, and you said it so many times, the zero state. The zero state is me just being. It's no longer me trying. It's me being. And now I may have different exercises that I do, practices that I have, but it's not to try to be that. It's to convince my mind that I am that.
We came here or projected ourselves here to wake up to the beyond birth identity.
Oh, say that one again.
We
Say it
came
slower.
here,
Yeah.
and our highest purpose here is to wake up beyond birth and dying.
Yes, sir.
To experience birth here is nothing in comparison to the resurrection identity that we are
Yes, sir.
in our essence.
Yes.
We are beyond dying. Now, the body is aware that you ought to know, bodies know that it's only a
They
brief
have an
moment.
expiration date.
Yeah, it
Yes.
does. You are the one that's going to leave it because you're the light of this body. Glory be to God. You're the light of all bodies. You're the
sir.
same light in those that are saved that are not. Now, the darkness or the light that's in others who are not saved may be a little dim and all that stuff. But let me tell you something, how powerful you are in your light. Anybody that you pass in stores anywhere, their light self and your light body can see each other.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It is aware of it.
Yeah. You ever pass somebody and had an immediate connection with them and you didn't know why?
And what I'm talking about, whether they say good morning or good night or good evening, the light shine. I'm sorry, but
It does.
you just gonna be light. whether on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or some people just want to be light when they pray a long time. Somebody want to be light when they done fasted a long time. Some of y'all want to be light because you find it out in the Word. I'm sorry to tell you, but it don't work like that.
I remember when I first read the book by Gary Renard called The Disappearance of the Universe. I remember I read that book from front to back all the way through without stopping pretty much. I could hardly put it down. But anyway, as I read that book and I had all of these epiphanies happening and aha moments happening to me, I remember there was one morning I went out to walk and I had just finished reading that book, and there was another gentleman that was walking as well, and we were meeting one another. He was coming one direction, I was coming the other direction, and we were coming toward each other. And he just simply looked at me, and I looked at him, and he spoke, and I spoke. After that man passed me, I literally broke out in tears. I don't know. He didn't do anything spectacular. And to this day, I've seen him again, and it doesn't happen. But it's at that moment that I had a realization that he was me. It was, I literally had the realization. I didn't just remember it because somebody had said it. I didn't just remember it because I had read it. It was an actual recognition. I had a recognition. And when that recognition took place, there was a knowing that took place in me. And I felt it. I felt it all through my being. And all of a sudden, I realized that's me.
What are the proceeds? I'm trying. I see a revelation of something here. Essence is the proceeds that we are. I see something. I'm feeling something about the value of the essence identity. After someone crosses over, there's a wheel that was. If you got all your ducks in a row now, there are some proceeds that should be coming to you that some of us have been waiting to get.
You mean actual monies?
Actual blessings.
Blessings.
Yeah. It could be money, it could be a house, it could be material things. You see what I'm trying to. Yeah. The proceeds are on the record inside your hall of records, inside your eternal essence self. They are there. They're inside of you there. If you take this finger out and point it, the essence is, let's say it like this, the proceeds that you guys are going to start seeing and have been seeing a small amount of, you're going to start seeing more of the proceeds of essence being the real you as you go further into discovery of who you really are. The proceeds are going to be presented to you in signs and wonders of indicators in this pathless path. The course that you are on is designed for you to see the proceeds. In other words, the proceeds, it's time for you to see what has been invested into your essence.
Okay.
That is the joy of being in a troubled world. See, it's something about proceeds I keep hearing in my inner self. You are behind in physical manifestations of the value of the worth of proceeds in your essence.
The value of your essence.
Yeah,
yes,
your
yes,
essence,
yes.
the value of your essence, let me say that, is ready to come forth. The value of your essence is ready to come forth and say by a tangible substance, this has been waiting for your attention for a long time. Now I'm going to tell you something else he just showed me. The value of your essence is going to take all of the past evolutions of the Christ identity and explode it, incubate it into one place. You might get your stimulus essence money. Your stimulus, see, when you go into this, you are stirring up something in the ore, of the core of your essence that says to your essence, it is time for you to physically, tangibly see your values, to see the power of knowing who you are. And your God identity is saying something about
Okay.
the proceeds. You are past due of the proceeds of your value. I'm saying something. I'm trying to put words to describe.
You feel it. And
Yeah, I feel it. And your essence, okay, he said, tell you guys that your essence is going to override because you are so full. You are so full of the proceeds.
And you feel that, and I feel this. This is something I'm feeling while you're saying that. I feel like there's a transfiguration taking place.
Oh, somebody said the value of my essence is already coming forth.
It's ready to come forth.
That it's coming forth now.
Yes. There's also a transfiguration that's taking place in all of us, and particularly those of you who are listening now. There is a change of figures.
Yes.
A change in a movement of figures happening
Yeah.
for you.
The council room is the council chamber of essence is saying this week,
Yes,
week,
yes.
your values will be seen in the light of your essence coming forth in a full awareness proceed. There are some proceeds that have been held back but are now being released.
Father, let them see their value.
Yes.
Let them
From the
see
essence.
their own value.
Beyond flesh.
Without an ego. Let them see beyond the ego what their true value
Beyond
is.
the body. That's
what their
right.
true value is. And how that value itself is pulling.
Yes.
It's pulling.
Yes.
It's pulling the good to them. It's pulling all good to them. Right now, let them see their value.
Yes. Essence is saying you have always been equipped for the blessing. Now.
So the proceeds don't come because I've lined up my life just
No,
right.
no,
The
no, no.
proceeds come because of my value.
It is time for your Ark of Covenant to receive and experience the glory of essence physically and tangibly revealing itself. And this is started. It has always been. I sense the breaking of the bands, the breaking of the shackles, and the value. The proceeds. You are now experiencing the proceeds of the value of your essence. Now you need to wait. Don't let it show itself and you say, well, I don't deserve it. Who cares? Essence is not worried about whether you deserve it or not.
It's based on your
It's
value.
based on grace.
Yes, sir. It's based on your value.
Now,
I like what Michelle said. She said, yea, I am in the vortex of Christ consciousness. The I behind the body will always be. We are all the one I floating in and out of form in different shapes and colors to experience the joy of being. Let our pure essence override the physical and explode with prosperity. I'm feeling, pastors, we are anointed. Woohoo!
yes.
I accept the blessing. There you go, Michelle. There you go. Hold on to that good feeling, sweetheart.
Now you're talking, girl. Now, it's about timing?
No, it's not about timing. It's
See,
about your value.
When you put time in there, you close it up.
You're going to distance it from yourself.
Yeah. We're talking about proceeds that have germinated.
Been waiting for.
Wait, and you're now sitting at the table, and the lawyer is reading off to you the inheritance. Some of y'all think you can get it by confession. This time, no confession. It's too late now. Mathematically, the universe is tired of holding on to it, and it said, I got to let this stuff go to this girl. I got to let this stuff go to this man. I got to let this stuff go to everybody that's
what
under
Pearl
the.
said.
That's right.
The mathematics of the universe has shifted to bring forth the proceeds
It's time.
of your value.
Yes.
Amen.
Look out, y'all, because it's
Amen.
right there in front of you. It's right there around you. It's all over you. I can see the gold fragments all over in your skin. It is the proceeds.
Yes.
Yes, it's the
Yes.
wealth of essence revealing to you.
Yes.
You can see it, become aware of it. You are that. You are the proceeds.
And the sky's the limit.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Listen,
wow.
you
Oh,
guys.
that's good.
Hey,
Wow.
this essence and proceed is moving out all the bad smells.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't stop it.
can't.
It just cannot be stopped. So we're going to move on now. Okay? Now, give us some feedback if you want to. We
Jill said, I saw that being released.
yes.
I just didn't understand. And Oliver says it's a present help.
yes.
I can see it in my awareness of my essence.
Mhm.
Phyllis simply says, praise you, God.
Miss Joe Renee said grace.
Grace.
Okay.
Yes, it's grace.
And it ain't greasy either.
It's grace. So I can lay my head on my pillow and know that it is so, whether I confess it or anything. It's so based on my value. So when you lay your head on your pillow, know how much you're worth. That's where it's coming from, how much you're worth.
Your hand is filled with gold.
Yes, sir.
The essence.
Yes,
We
yes,
talked
yes.
about it. What would Gwen say? Apostle and I just talked about the gold today. Oh, Lady Gwen, Brother Pastor Armstrong, y'all, I can smell y'all smell like the blessing of the proceeds.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It's the
sir.
fragrance.
And we're not just talking about money, are you?
No,
Like you
no,
said,
we're not just talking
it's
about money.
any blessing. It can be a healing. It can be a favor. It can be anything. It doesn't matter.
Let me show you something. That's the proceeds right there. Did y'all see that? Now don't watch that stuff now. Go get your room now. Yes, Grace. Oh, it's the real stuff. Now we're gonna be back here again Sunday morning at 10.
Yes, we will.
We got so many other things to do this week. I think we got 2 more of these things to do this
We've
week.
got a podcast, definitely a podcast on Friday at 1:00.
Yeah.
I will try to leave you guys something on Facebook so that you can possibly tune into that if you're available. We're not putting that one on. There's someone else that's doing that. Leanne Moore is putting that on for us. She's doing an interview with us. And we appreciate you guys so much for standing with us and supporting us and praying for us and keeping us in your hearts.
And sending us the funds that keep us going here.
Yes, and I think Jill has already posted that you can text to give. I think she's already done that way up here somewhere. I know it's up there. I saw it.
Lady Gwen and Bishop Armstrong, our heart and prayers are with both of you guys due to the situation that you've dealt with our friend who was crossed on the other side, and that family. And Pastor, you have our hearts, you have our love, all of you do.
But let me finish this. Text to give, and I know Jill has probably put it, but I need to say it for some of you who may not have seen it. It's text CLC Greensboro to 73256, and that will take you directly to a place where you can actually give into Cornerstone, and it will go directly into Cornerstone's account. Also, on this Facebook page, there is a button called Use App. If you hit that Use App button, it takes you directly to it. And also, I think in the comment that Jill wrote, she put the link in there, so if you click on that, it will take you directly to it. And if you want to bless Pastor and I, if this message resonated with you, you can send us something through Cash App, and that's A Sawyer C. That's $A Sawyer C. And we just thank you so much for helping us out and blessing us. And we want you guys to stay safe. We know this coronavirus is doing its thing, but stay safe and be smart. Okay? Stay
I reached
safe.
a hand of Jesus out through my hands to touch every one of you
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
to heal and to show you all about the essence of your rich self, your
Yes, sir.
prosperity self. Okay?
Yes, yes.
Thank you for tuning in with us, and we look forward to having you back again on Sunday morning at 10.
All righty.
Okay.
We love you guys. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you.